Welcome to Marketecture, where you can get smart, fast, with in-depth interviews of leading technology vendors. I'm Brian Barlett of Sounds Profitable, and I'm here with Cameron Hendricks, co-founder of Magellan AI. Welcome to the show, Cameron.
Thanks, Brian. Happy to be here.
Before we start off, in the interest of full disclosure, Magellan AI is a partner of Sounds Profitable, but I'm really excited to dig into this. So Cameron, can you tell us a little bit about what Magellan AI does?
Sure. So we are a podcast media planning and measurement platform, work with advertisers, agencies, and publishers, and a few companies that I would say fall into more of an other category. And ultimately, just try to focus on being the best platform for partners to test and scale podcast advertising.
Let's dig into the product. So what does it do exactly? Like, how does it work? Really trying to figure out the category you'd compete in, and especially for people that are getting their bearings in podcasting and exploring it further, because that's the general audience for Marketecture here. What could they compare it to in competitors and other channels?
First of all, like in podcasting, it's such a newer market and a growing market. We actually find it super educational to look at other markets and kind of see how they've evolved, whether that's digital or TV or something else. A couple companies that we've come across that are somewhat analogous, but in other markets are iSpot and VideoAmp. So iSpot TV and VideoAmp both, and a little bit more focus on TV and connected TV. But if you look at their suite of offerings, there's like some components that are media planning and ad intelligence, and there's some components that are performance measurement. Those are the pieces that we offer, except with more of a focus on podcasting. So I always think those are good companies that are analogous to what we do.
Do you feel like you're going to expand past podcasting into other audio or to CTV and other categories?
I think so. Podcasting has grown enough that we've been like kind of happy to be the podcast focused solution. As podcasting has gotten bigger, our clients are also getting bigger, and they're also starting to look at podcasting among other channels that they're evaluating. So I think naturally, if you look at businesses like ours, like we will expand beyond podcasting. We've already started adding support for things like YouTube. And so processing like YouTube episodes the same way we process podcast episodes. At the end of the day, it's all audio and it's all advertising to us. So as much as we, really focus as much as possible on the podcasting ecosystem and supporting that today, it's definitely like on our radar to expand there.
You mentioned two categories, like planning and then measurement. So is that safe to put you guys in those categories as offering two solutions there? Or is there another category that you enter as well?
Yeah, it's a great question. The other category that I might think about putting us in, aside from planning and measurement, would be like competitive intelligence more broadly. So we do have an offering that a lot of publishers, especially in the podcast space, rely on to understand, who's buying and selling advertising. And, there's also a use case, I think, there for some of the advertisers in the market that are looking to get a better understanding of what their competitors are doing as well. So planning is kind of a very specific fit for purpose kind of tool, right? You need to go find podcasts to advertise on. You can come into our platform and do that. Some partners are really much more focused on just like understanding the competitive landscape. So I think we provide something there. And then you mentioned measurement. So there are a lot of different aspects to it. Right. Yeah. So one is like straight up performance measurement and attribution. And so we provide a solution for that. There's also a step maybe before measurement, which is like ad verification. So making sure that an ad ran to an advertiser's specification. That's not really like looking at, did it deliver listener actions? But it's actually looking at like, did the ad fulfill the promise of using the right promo code and having the right length and, being in the right position. So on the buy side, the way we think about it is like the feature set is kind of three pronged. Like one is media planning, the other is verification, and then the third is performance measurement. And then on the publisher or sales side, the use case is a little bit more like competitive intelligence with a little bit of ad op support and support for things like content acquisition.
Thanks for listening. To hear the complete interview, subscribe at marketecture.tv.